I remember the day they buried Obiageli's parents. We were just teenagers and the rain poured so hard the red earth turned into rivers. She stood there in the rain, no wrapper to cover her head, no one to hold her. Her eyes were dry, but her feet trembled. That was the first time I saw grief and strength hold hands in one person. She had no brothers, no husband, no land. In her village of UMUAGA, that meant she had nothing. People whispered, she will suffer, she will beg. A woman alone cannot survive here, but Obiageli was different. After her parents died, she didn't run to marry. She stayed back and worked on people's farms to survive. She would wake before the cock crowed, and by night sit with the elders just to listen. She asked questions that many men were too proud to ask. She read old palm leaf scrolls some of us didn't know how to touch. She knew the names of herbs and the signs of the sky. Slowly, quietly, she was building herself. I once asked her, Obi, why don't you marry? Don't you want support? She looked at me and said, I'm not waiting to be carried. I am building my own legs. Then the trouble came. The harvest failed 3 years in a row. Goats began dying. The stream dried up early. Our men fought over boundaries. People stopped trusting the chiefs. Everyone looked for someone to blame. In the village square, during the yearly gathering, Obiageli stood up. She had no title, no family name, no wealth, just her voice. What if we farm together? She said. What if we teach our children skills and not just prayers? What if we trade, not just wait for blessings? Men laughed, women hid their faces, but she did not sit down. One elder, Ezelcha, said, let her speak. We've heard the men and still we suffer. And that was the day everything changed. Obiageli gathered a group of widows and young girls. They cleared abandoned land near the stream, planted yam and cassava, worked like ants. When the harvest came, it was more than expected. She took some and sold in Obete market. With the money, she brought back better tools. She built a learning shed for children. Boys and girls sat together and learned crafts and counting. Soon, neighboring villages came to ask for advice. Obiageli never ruled with force. She ruled with example. One day, the council said a new king must be chosen. All the names brought forward were men, big names. But the people shook their heads. They said, we already know our king. The elders were shocked. A woman? A woman cannot sit on the throne. But the people stood firm, and the law had to bend to truth. That dry season, under the great Udala tree, Obiageli was crowned Igwe Obiageli I, the first woman to sit as king in UMUAGA. She ruled not as a woman or man, but as a leader. She brought peace between villages, trade to our land, and hope to the girls who once thought they were born only to serve. Now I am old, but I tell my children this. Never believe that strength wears only trousers. I saw a girl lose everything and still rise. I saw her become king. Lesson: in every African woman lies the power to rebuild broken ground. Leadership is not in the beard, but in the heart and mind.